weekly outlook for the week of Sunday, March 29th, all the way until April 3rd, Friday, April 3rd. So I'll be doing the same pairs AU, EU, GU. I'll be going over what I seen last week, how did that play out, and what I expect for this week. So last week on AUD USD, my expectation was that the market was going to go lower, and it did. I said that the move had initiated from the previous week. So we were somewhere in here. Yeah, the start of last week, the outlook was somewhere up in here. So yeah, it just continued on, moved down, and it got to the zone that I had marked up in here, but I've already removed it because price blew through it, or ended up breaking through it, and yeah, I mean, this market just AU is just continuing to sell. MAs, MACD, all that stuff right now is showing, you know, um, that the market wants to keep selling until otherwise. So what what am I expecting for the beginning of the week? Is that the market will continue to sell. I've identified a few zones up in here that the market can get to before continuing to push down to these targets. If the market can just push down from Sunday, then I just have to reassess, find some additional zones, and then still wait for that pullback. Alternatively, we would need to see a lot of change um, for me to say AU is buying. So as right now, yes, I'm just looking to sell AUD USD on a weekly outlook. Moving over to the Euro USD and GBP USD, as they're correlating very similar this week. The past week, I mean. So last week we were here, and I said I wanted the market to get back to this level with some low volume divergence and look to be able to trade for the sell. However, when we got to this level, the reason why I didn't take this trade is because that didn't look like a ABC type correction that I normally do trade when I trade the trend within the trend. And because of that, I was because I didn't see that as an ABC type correction. You have all this. I chose not to take a sell opportunity from this trend here. Nonetheless, nonetheless, um, it's a good question to ask. Next tutoring session. But what I am looking for, on EU and GU, is that for the market to continue selling. My bias is still the same. You have this correction compared to the previous trend, which is the impulse here. I would like for the market to break this impetus level, EU and GU, and then if the market does retest, which after break we have a retest most of the time, then I can look to go ahead and continue to sell and target these lower prices down here. Additionally, we do have the MAs crossing, and the MACD is also on our side already. Just want to see that structure being broken before I do go ahead and get in for look for sell opportunities with what price has already shown me. Last but not least, we have USD JPY. This I said my bias was a sell last week, and I said it needed to hold at this zone. It did hold, but this trend was very impulsive. So because I seen that throughout the week, my bias was shifting to no longer see as a sell, but that it was going to correct this impulse here and then continue higher. So ultimately, that's what we did. We broke this structural high here, and my bias ended up switching on Friday to a buy. So this is the only thing. So this bias has shifted. Unlike the other pairs, they're still the same. But nonetheless, so yeah, what I'm looking for this week is definitely buys. MACD, MAs, all on our side structure is good. So yeah, we're gonna be looking for buys. What what I would like to see is that the market pull back to one of these zones potentially. Give me some entry confirmation, then we can target higher prices. Now we are extremely high. Price hasn't been this high since when I look back in time, maybe 2024, January, June 2024. So it's been quite some time. The market is extremely high, but if you're going to trade with what we see, we're not going to predict anything. And yeah, that's the outlook for this week. Short and simple. Thank y'all.